Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It is Thursday, Thinking Thursday, April the 8th today. I hope your April is going okay so far. My name is Karen. I'm here with Get Moving. And as you already know, I hope, Get Moving is all about helping people with mobility issues, mobility problems, limited mobility, to get some good solid exercise, to move better, to get stronger, to get fitter, to just be able to improve the quality of their life and do more stuff, because we all know the more the merrier. So yeah, we're here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning at 11 o'clock. You can join in with us live now, or you can do the catch-up service. You just come back to this Facebook page and press play and join us anytime you like. Or you can find us via our website. I believe, hopefully, the link is up in the description up there somewhere. It is reesefitness.co.uk/getmoving. So there's loads of ways you can sort of find us and join in with us. So what's stopping you? I genuinely don't know what possibly could stop you from joining in with us. So let's get stuck in. Today, we're going to need our resistance band and our ball. So if you haven't got your resistance band and ball, you've got 30 seconds now to go grab it very, very quickly. Come back. I'll just waffle along for 30 seconds to give you a chance. Resistance band and the ball, okay? So, Thinking Thursday. Thinking Thursday is all about helping us use our brains to improve our bodies, essentially. Exercise is fantastic. Going through the motions will do. Yeah, we can just turn in, clock in, do some movements, and we will improve like that. No doubt about it. However, if we want to improve more, if we want to get the most out of it, then it is best if we understand what's going on and we know our bodies as well as possible. So on Thinking Thursdays, we're going to do all the exercises twice. The first time, we're going to just assess ourselves. We're going to ask ourselves, how is this move? How is this body doing it? What are its strengths? What are its weaknesses? How can it improve? We're just going to get a benchmark, if you will, okay? And then we're going to do it a second time. And as we all know, the second time is always better than the first time. And we're going to make sure the second time is better than the first time by changing something. Not just going through the motions, not just doing it without thinking. We're going to change something. We can change one of three things. It's up to you. We can change the speed, we can change the size, or we can change the complexity of the move. Okay? And it's an experiment. You're going to try it out. You're going to try and change one of those things and see what happens. Because let's face it, when we change something, it'll either make it better, make it worse, or make no difference whatsoever. But we have learned something from those results, okay? So with all these exercises, don't forget, we can change the speed. We can make it faster or slower. We can change the size. We can make it a bigger or smaller move. Or we can change the complexity. We make it a simpler or more complicated move. Every single exercise rather, we're going to change one of those things. And then we're going to see what happens. Simple as that. I have no idea about you. You know about you. I don't know about you. So you're going to decide what you're going to change. And you're going to think it through, you're going to experiment, and you're going to find out whether it's made things better or worse or made no difference. That's what we do on Thinking Thursday. So let's get stuck in. Okay, let me make sure I've got it ready. 20 seconds. We're going to do 2 rounds of 20 seconds of everything, okay? First time to benchmark, second time to change something. First of all, nice and easy, marching on the spot. If you are seated, then you're going to sit nice and tall and just march on the spot, get your legs up like so. Simple as that. Just getting the hips moving, okay? If you are standing, we're going to march on the spot while standing. Again, this first time is just a benchmark. You assess how it goes and figure out what you're going to change, okay? So 20 seconds, everybody marching on the spot in 3, in 2, in 1, and away we go. Marching away. We're picking the knees up. We're moving the hips, we're moving the arms if we can, we're just going for a little walk, a little stroll. I mean, the weather's not brilliant for it, but you know, it'll do. It's a nice spring day otherwise. We'll just go for a walk, go for a stroll, and get our body moving. Now that's the first bit done. So we're going to do the same thing again a second time. Second time's always better, as we know. Are you going to change the speed, or are you going to change the size, or are you going to change the complexity of the move? I've got it written down here to remind me, because I have terrible memory. You decide what you're going to change. Me personally, I'm going to make it a little bit more complex. I'm not going to march on the spot. I'm going to march and move around. I can put a side step in because, why not? I'm going to make it a bit more complicated in that way. That's what I'm going to do. I have no idea what you're going to do, but you decide. You think on Thinking Thursday. 20 seconds worth in 3, 2, 1, and away we go. So I'm going to march on the spot and make it a bit more complicated by putting a side step in. Now, I like this, personally. I like this added complexity because it gets my brain working. It stops my brain from just turning into mush. I'm just going, same old, same old. I like a change, and that is it. So depending on what you changed, you might have made things better, might have made things worse, or might have made no difference whatsoever. But you have now learned something about your body, about its abilities, and about what changes things can do to it. And that's a good thing, because we take that knowledge and run with it for the rest of our lives. Okay, next exercise, moving on, shoulder rolls. So either rolling the shoulders back like so, or rolling the arms back like so. Okay, first go. Are you ready? In 3, in 2, in 1. Off you go. So that move, or that move. Again, this is the benchmark. What do you find easy about it? What do you find difficult about it? Is one side better or worse than the other? Is it better or worse at one particular point of the circle, the top or the bottom or the front or the back? Assess it. That's our time. And now we're going to change it. Now I'm going to change the size of the move. I'm going to make it a bit smaller, but focus on a particular part of the range. I'm only going to work on just this back bit here, personally. So I'm going to make it a smaller move, but small in a very specific place. Okay, now you change the speed, the size, the complexity. You decide what you're going to do, but we're going to do it now in 3, in 2, in 1. Away we go. So I am going to concentrate on this portion of the move back here because I know for me, this helps the strength in my upper back. By pinning my hands right back, this portion of the move is the most important for me. And that's our time. And by doing that, I can really feel it in my upper back and the shoulder blades there, which is exactly what we're after. So for me, that's a good thing. Now again, I don't know what you did, but hopefully you've learned something from it. Moving on to the next one, knee bends. If you're seated, sitting tall, going to kick one foot out and back, bit at a time, like so, kicking out and back, bending and straightening the knees, nice and simple, okay? If we're standing, we're going to bend and straighten the knees by kicking back towards our bums. Setting ourselves up first of all in 3, 2, 1, off we go. That's it. So bending and straightening the knees, kicking the heels up towards the bums, just getting the knees moving. Again, we ask ourselves, is there pain in one knee or the other? Is it easier on one side or the other? Are we creaking or groaning on one side more than the other? Who knows? Now it's our time. But now we're going to change something. Change the speed, make it faster or slower. Change the size, make it bigger or smaller. Change the complexity, make it simpler or more complicated. Me, what am I going to do? I'm going to change the speed. I'm going to slow it down. And I'm going to spend some time at the top. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. So I'm going to hold it there for half a second. And yep, that straight away, I can feel that work in the back of my thighs instantly. Just by holding it up there for that split second there. Not letting it just drop down. So by making it a bit slower, I have made it significantly harder for me. Time. Now again, I don't know what you did. Hopefully you changed something, and hopefully you've learned something from it. Because that's what we do on Thinking Thursday. We think. Okay then, everybody, get your ball. It's ball time, it's rugby time. So, you're going to need, you can do the seated or standing, it's entirely up to you. But you're going to need a wall over to one side or a person. Now, obviously, wall, person, they're pretty much the same thing. They're very interchangeable. I often confuse a wall for a person or a person for a wall. Yeah, that probably says more about me than them. But hey, so we're sat or stood. We've got our ball. We've got the wall or person directly to one side. We're going to play rugby. We're going to pass the ball and bounce it off the wall or pass it to the person and they chuck it back. But it's going to be a sideways pass. So we're going to twist, okay? So I'm going to show you now with the ball. We just twist, pass it back and forth. We bounce it off the wall or pass it to the person and back, okay? Again, this can be done seated. It can be done standing. It makes no difference. But I hope you're set up by now because we're going to go. So set yourself off in 3, 2, 1. Off you go. And again, assess yourself rather. How does this feel? Easy, hard, complicated, difficult? How is your hand-eye coordination? Are you able to catch the ball? And time. Now, what we do on one side, we're going to do the same on the other side. So our second go is in reverse, okay? Now, again, you can change the speed, the size, or the complexity of this move, but we're going to do it other ways. So I am just going to literally spin on the spot. You're going to see my backside, lucky you, and I'm going to do it in the other direction, okay? Now, for me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to work on making it a bit more complicated by trying to be as accurate as I can. I'm going to try and aim for a specific spot on that brick on the wall if I can. Wish me luck. It's going to make it a bit more complicated. You decide what you're going to change. Speed, size, or complexity. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So I'm going to try and aim for one particular spot on the wall. Now, so far, it's not too bad. I'm getting it most of the time. The first one I did was a bit off, but I think, fingers crossed, I found my eye now, and I'm mostly getting it on target. That went a lot better than I thought it was going to be honest with you. Time. I thought then I was going to really embarrass myself and miss entirely, like a shotgun approach, but it actually went okay. I was happily impressed with that. But that's our rugby ball pass. We've got a good twist of the body going on there. Okay, next exercise. So, everybody sat down with your resistance band. Everybody, even if you can stand, I want you seated with your band. So we're going to do I's and Y's now. So if you've got full use of both arms, you are going to stand on your band down the bottom there, anchor it very secure. Don't let the band sort of slip away from underneath your toes and flying up in the air. I mean, that's going to have someone's eye out. That's an accident waiting to happen. So make sure it is securely anchored underneath your feet. Okay? Now, if you've got both arms, if you've got use of both arms, you're just going to stretch your arms up into a capital I shape and relax. And then stretch your arms out and back diagonally into a capital Y shape and back. So it's I and Y. Okay? Anchor it underneath your feet. Make it a big move. Are you ready? Everybody, in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. An I and then a Y. So we want to feel the backs of our shoulders, our shoulder blades again, our upper back, working hard to pin and stretch these bands right back, like so. Lots and lots of work in the upper back. I'll do one more Y. And then relax. Okay. What are you going to do differently this time? Again, you know the drill by now. Are you going to make it faster or slower? Are you going to make it bigger or smaller? Or make it more or less complicated? Now, I'm going to change the size of the move. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. But like at the start, I'm going to concentrate on a specific part of the move. So now I'm not going to raise my arms up and down. I'm going to put them up and just move between the I and the Y there. I'm not going to have a rest in between. So I'm going to make a smaller move, but restrict it to a horrible part of the move. What are you going to do differently? Who knows? In 3, in 2, in 1. Off we go. So I'm going to go into my I, and then transition to the Y, and back to the I, and I'm going to keep my shoulders pinned back and just moving between these two positions. It's a smaller move, but I am staying in the hard part of the move. And yep, straight away I felt that a lot more work on the shoulders and the back there. So that is a good one for me. Strengthens my upper back. That's our I's and Y's. And again, hopefully you've changed something. You've been thinking about what you're doing. We're not just going through the motions. It's Thinking Thursday. We learn about our body. We learn what it can do, what it can't do, and how we can make ourselves better. Okay, moving on. Side bends, bendianas. Okay, you can do the seated, you can do the standing. Makes no difference. So whichever one's good for you. Side bend. One arm definitely reaches down to one side, and then the same on the other side. If you can, as one arm goes down, the other arm comes up and over. So we're going to bend sideways, okay? In 3, in 2, in 1. Off we go. So bending one way, sideways, and bending the other way, sideways. So we're flexing the spine. We're making it move. We're stopping it from just getting stiff and sore and seized up. Excuse me. We're keeping the back mobile. We're minimizing the chances of us just getting stiff and sore and horrible back. Time. So what are you going to change? Speed, size, complexity. What have I got written down here? I'm going to change the speed. I'm going to make it slower. So I'm going to spend more time in either side of the stretch. That's what I'm going to do. What are you going to do? In 3, in 2, in 1. Away we go. So I'm going to spend more time here and try and stretch a bit further. And the same other side. Spend more time there and stretch a bit further each time. I'm going to try and make it a bit more of a stretch. And I'll do one more other side just to even myself out. A big, reaching, slow stretch. And that definitely, for me, gets more of a stretch along the sides there. It makes my back move a bit more. But again, you find out what works for you. You experiment and give it a go. And if you want, let us know in the comments below how it went for you. What did work for you? What didn't work for you? We can all learn from each other. So write in the comments below how it went for you so we can all learn from each other's mistakes. I love learning from my own mistakes. I love learning from other people's mistakes even more. Okay, sit stands. If you're seated, time to stand up, or at least time to do everything you can to stand up, attempt to stand up. Feet tucked back, body weight tilted forwards, heavy feet. You're going to push down hard through the feet into the floor. I mean, push, crush the floor if you can. And then you're going to stand up tall, nice and tall, fully upright, no halfway houses here. And if you can, you sit back and down and repeat. You do as many or as few sit stands as you possibly can in this time. If you're standing, we're going to squat, feet apart, feet flat, sitting back and down like so. 20 seconds, again, set a benchmark, see how you're feeling in 3, 2, 1, off you go. So you assess yourself, find out if this is easy, if this is hard. Do you have pains anywhere? Is there stiffness anywhere? Whatever, you just assess yourself. What are your own personal strengths and weaknesses when it comes to sitting and standing? Time. And now we're going to change something. Change speed, size, complexity. What am I doing? I'm going to change the complexity. I'm going to put a step into it. I'm going to do a squat and a step just to make it a bit more complicated. But you might do something different. I don't know. Give your best shot in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So I'm going to squat and step. Squat and step. So I'm just adding a little move in just to make it a bit more complicated. There's a balance component going on here now. And that helps keep my brain engaged, stops me from getting bored. I'll do one more. Time. Nicely done. And I mean it. Let us know in the comments below what you change and whether it worked or not for you. because we learn, like I said, we learn from experiences, our own or other people's. So let us know in the comments below how it went. Tightrope walking and ankles. If you're seated, moving the ankle back and forth, getting as much movement out of the ankle as you can. Get the heel to touch the floor, and then the toes. And then the heel, toes, heel, toes. And of course, you do the same thing on both sides, okay? If we're standing, we're going to do tightrope walking. So you know the drill by now. Imaginary tightrope painted on the floor. Feet wide is easier, feet narrow is harder. With me, walking forwards and back along that tightrope, off we go. So heel, toe, heel, toe. Keeping our balance, we can use our arms to help us keep our balance. If you are interested in balance and improving your balance, don't forget, Wobble Wednesday is when we deliberately work on balance. Now, same thing, going backwards, toes, heels, toes, heels. So if you want to improve your balance, make sure you check out all the sessions we've got every Wednesday where we work specifically on balance and falls prevention. Well, this is just setting ourselves up, assessing ourselves. Time. Okay, second go, what are you going to do differently? Me, I'm going to make it a bigger move. I'm not going to do a small step. I'm going to do a big step. I'm going to change the size of the move and see what happens. In 3, 2, 1, off you go. So I'm doing a bigger step. And I thought as much. That is a damn sight easier for me. A big stride is easier. Now I'm going to try the same thing backwards. Off we go. Stepping backwards. And I'm doing a bigger step than normal. And yep, I am finding that a lot easier. So, for me at least, a big step does not challenge my balance as much. It's not going to improve my balance as much. But a small step, it's hard work. It makes me feel much more wobbly. But that is going to improve my balance more in the long run. That's what I've learned. Okay, nearly there. Fast feet time. I'm going to change my timer down to 10 seconds. I know what I'm going to change on round 2 here. We're going to do 10 seconds of fast feet if you're seated. Just running on the spot. Simple as that. Nice and easy. If we're standing, running on the spot. Nice and simple. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So moving our feet as quick as we can. And again, you assess yourself. Time. Okay. You ask yourself, how was that for you? Were you able to go fast? Were you able to go confidently? Were you able to keep it balanced? How was it for you? And what are you going to do differently next time? Me, I'm going to make it a bit more complicated because I know actually this can help me go faster. By moving my feet in and out as well, I know now, I've learned that helps me go faster. So, you decide what you're going to do differently. 10 seconds again. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So I know by moving my feet in and out as well, by making this move more complicated, I can do it so much better. I learned this from this Thinking Thursday months back. I never knew this till I gave it a go. I experimented and I learned how to make this move so much better for me. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you're doing the same for you as well. Okay, last one then. Let me change my timer again. Back up to 20 seconds. Shadow boxing. Straight cardio. Get out of breath. Improve your heart and lungs. If you're seated, fists up. Shadow boxing high. Shadow boxing low. Hooking up, down. Just shadow boxing away and getting out of breath. If you're standing, moving your feet as well. Shadow boxing and moving your feet forwards and backwards, okay? 20 seconds. Again, set yourself up for this one. A benchmark. Let's see how it works for you. In 3, 2, 1, off we go. So the whole point of this, as you know by now, I hope, is to get out of breath. So we're going to move our arms, move our body, and get our blood pumping, and get huffing and puffing, and time. So that's round 1. So what are we going to do differently in round 2? We can move the punches faster, so quicker punches. We can make them bigger, so they are bigger punches, twist the body. Or we can make it more complicated by doing combinations or moving the feet around. What are you going to change? I'm going to do this one seated, but you change something in 3, 2, 1. Off you go, round 2. So, punching away, moving the arms, moving the body. If you can, moving your legs, getting nicely out of breath, punching high, punching low, changing combinations, singles or doubles or whatever, time. And guess what? We've got 1 round left. So we may as well get stuck into it. You're going to make one more change. You decide what you're going to do differently. I'm going to try and make it faster and bigger if I can. It's the last round, last 20 seconds. So in 3, 2, 1, away we go. So I'm going to try and make these faster punches and involve more of my body, more of my legs. And yep, they definitely get me more out of breath. And time. That is it. That is our Thinking Thursday. So now have a breather, relax. I'm going to take my hat off. Get your breath back. Because hopefully, fingers crossed, by now, you've had a good workout for your body. Your arms have moved, your legs have moved, your body has moved, all your major joints have moved. Your heart and lungs, all the stuff inside your body's moved. But hopefully, also, you've got your brain working. We're not just going through the motions. Now, we don't have to learn something about every single move we've done. If we can, fantastic. I mean, learn the more the merrier. But if we've just learned even one thing about these moves, how we can make it better, how we can challenge our body in a safe but very effective way by change the speed, size, complexity of the move. If we've learned just one thing, fantastic. In fact, I'm greedy, I'm nosy. Let us know in the comments below if you've learned anything and what you've learned. Because like I said, it's nice learning things for ourselves. It's very nice learning things from other people as well. Because that's what makes us all good. We're not all enclosed and just alone. We're in this together. We can help each other out. And one way we can help each other out, as I say, comment below. Say if you've learned anything, if you've used your brain, how you've used it, and how it has made something better or worse for you. Like I said, we learn from our successes, our mistakes, and other people's successes and their mistakes. Let us know. So that's Thinking Thursday. As always, thank you very much. I don't know if you enjoy it or not, but I know I bloody enjoy doing these things. So we're going to be back again tomorrow. Fitness Friday. The whole thing is going to be geared around getting you out of breath, keeping you out of breath, and letting you get out of breath as often as possible. That's what tomorrow's session is going to be geared around. Fitness Friday, getting our heart and lungs going, get stuck in, getting sweaty, getting huffy-puffy, and being better afterwards than we were before. That's the idea, I think, isn't it, really? So thank you very much, boys and girls. As always, don't forget, we've got links up there. We've got share buttons down there, like buttons kicking around the place. I'm not sure exactly where or how, but you know how the internet works. Give it a go. And thank you. We'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Bye-bye.